Okay. Recording. Double check IMCtv. Okay. Okay. Recording. Mute that. Thank you, TXL. Let's see what's up with that. I'm gonna stop this right now. Okay, so oh, you're good. Yeah, you're good. All right. Well, I must have posted the wrong link for the Zoom here. Shout out to TXL for letting me know. I'm gonna be looking at that periodically, and live streaming on IMCtv right now, and I got to start because I keep putting it off. Okay, admit, even though I didn't. Okay, that was my last. Apparently, there's a waiting room right now. I'm gonna see if I can turn that off real quick. So there we go. One less thing to worry about. Thank you, TXL, for letting me know. For some reason, the Zoom that I scheduled, I must have started a new one. That's why the link was wrong. And I'm just making sure the waiting room is off here. All right. We're good. Double check IMCtv one last time. And I already know it's good, so we're definitely good. Hey, what up? TK here. Gonna live stream on Instagram because Captain Chris told me so, and it's the right thing to do because there's someone out there watching you, needing to hear your story, needing to see your full, real, authentic self because there's something inside of them that wants to express himself, but something was holding himself back, whether it was their upbringing, family, the school environment, society, anything, where one point they're like, no, you can't do that, you can't say that. And what do you know? They're done. What up, Instagram world? This is Beyond Clarity, episode number 2. Now that I got to name my titles and throw in a description, the first thing that came to mind was keep showing up. Now, you see that in my about on my Instagram, and it's also the title on my Facebook page. What does keep showing up mean to you? When you hear keep showing up, what does that sound to you? Think about that. And no wrong answer. To me, oh boy, this was, I can't believe it's been that long ago. Fall of 2018. It was like October, November of 2018. I just moved back up to Wisconsin from Florida. I'm originally from Wisconsin, but I moved down to Florida back in 2015 because I was just sick of the cold here, to be honest with you. I really wasn't doing much with my life. I wasn't really happy with anything. And I was like, I'll never forget, I was walking outside on one of the coldest days in a while. It was like record breaking or whatever the news channel says. Like, I do remember it was freaking cold as balls for like 2 days straight. I didn't even go outside. And then the second day, I'm walking by myself. And before I go in, I just pause and I stand out there. I'm like, what am I still doing out here? Like, why am I here? There's really nothing holding me back but myself. Like, I was stationed at the 128th Air Refueling Wing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Air National Guard base, not Army National Guard, Air National Guard. People, they get the two mixed up. There's a big difference. And I was just thinking, like, okay, I'm stationed there. There's other bases, in warmer climates. I could just transfer somewhere else. It took about a year, and oh my God, I was, it's funny. When I moved, I was like really happy for a little while, and then I was just kind of like back to my old ways, still miserable, not as miserable as I was living up here. And I was going to Full Sail University, earning a bachelor's degree in entertainment business. I was in and out of college for like, I think it was around 10 years, maybe even more. And I was actually done with it. And then what do you know? A good friend of mine that got his degree there, I went down and visited him. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Something I'm actually interested in. So although I ended up paying a lot more money going to that school, I was actually learning something I was interested in. Like, wow, this is pretty interesting, learning behind the scenes how movies and music is made, and helping out with some feature films based off of video games. And I'll never forget, probably one of the highlights when I was down there, sitting in music producer's studio, Troyton Rami, who helped produce the platinum song "Give Me the Light" by Sean Paul back in 2003. And I was there thinking, like, oh my God, like I saw the platinum, the platinum picture with Sean Paul and then "Give Me the Light" on his wall. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm here. This is happening. We were helping, it was actually a country group get signed by a label. And Troy, shout out to Troy Kruger. He got me in the entertainment industry. We drove down there with a couple of the country singers, and it was just so cool, like hearing them talk and negotiate and seeing how the whole studio was set up. And well, come to find out, I guess he has some connections down there, obviously. And I guess he's kind of he has some EDM connections there, electronic dance music, some underground techno, listeners or DJs might get offended by that, but I guess he had like some kind of connection with Ultra Music Festival, and I was supposed to make a mix and send it to him to hear, but I never did because I was so nervous and scared. Like I didn't think it'd be good enough, so I never did that. And that's like that brings the whole part of like what keep showing up means to me. That was a self-sabotage moment. So it's like, our parents did the best that they could, and my parents, I was a mistake. My parents divorced before I was even born, and I'm kind of going into the where the self-sabotage created. So when a child experiences their parents going through a divorce, they feel that tension, they feel that unloved, they feel that whatever is going on behind the scenes, just negative energy. Um, sometimes the kids think it's their fault, and it can really cause a lot of harm on them, mentally, psychologically. Like I didn't have too much physical stuff growing up, but a lot of psychological, and that really affected me. So whenever I tried something, I wasn't good at it, I'd quit right away. If I did start getting good at something, I'd be like, okay, this is weird. I gotta do something. I gotta stop now. If someone I liked me, I would be mean to them, or I would just do something, to self-sabotage that. Um, so that was where was I going with that? Well, probably because today is a really cold day. My girl notices something in me earlier today. I was just really she could tell I was kind of like nervous and anxious and kind of just off, and I was going through a lot of tension, and I'm learning how to clear myself before I go see someone. Just how I cleared myself before I did this live. And um, it's just a cold, miserable day. We had a snowstorm yesterday. I was driving in it. I almost got into an accident. And then I ended up getting a last minute notification that someone needed a ride over an hour away. And normally it's crazy because I get the notification on my work phone, but every time they'll call my personal phone and let me know. And for some reason, they didn't do this. So it got late. I called the person and they were so upset, like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm like, okay, well, let me call work and see if we can get you a ride. No one was around to do it. I told them, like, I can get them, but I just want to let you know, whoever made this ride for me didn't call me and let me know. Now this poor person here is sitting there waiting. I'll go get them. It's going to take me twice as long to get them because that's what we do. But I just want to let you know the road's really sun. I'll say, and oh my God, this reminds me of my job with Amazon. The roads were unsafe. There are two Amazon delivery driver. Sometimes the backcountry roads are so dangerous and they expect you to complete the route or complete the ride. I'm like, when I was at the end, when I was like on the verge of quitting, I'm like, you get over here and you finish this. Oh, the route needs to be complete. I can't even get down this road. I got stuck in some farmer's driveway once. Thankfully, he was nice and pulled me out because that would have been like a written, I don't know what I would have gotten docket. Where was I going with that? So if someone like tells you to do something that they wouldn't do or they don't have to do, it's like, no, you get here and you do it. No, yeah, that's what I thought. So with that story, I catch myself also with shiny object syndrome. Like I get really interested about something, I get really motivated to do it. And I'm like, oh no, okay, on to the next, on to the next. Well, the keep showing up part came when I moved back up here from Florida at Crossroads. My rent was up. My roommate moved out. I think he even moved back up here. Yeah, he did. My grandma just got put in a home because she fell too many times, and I was like one of the only family members capable, able to watch her house because my mom was kind of stuck helping her, and either the other siblings didn't really help that much, or the other ones lived conveniently far away. So I was up here doing that, helping out, and I was like working at the Walmart distribution center because I needed a job. And here I am with this bachelor's degree in entertainment business, not really knowing what to do with it, too kind of scared to like reach out to big companies. And wanting to work on my computer, trying to help friends start their companies, which I did, but I didn't help as much as I could have. And oh boy, you really want to test your friendship with someone? Start a business with them. Let me know how that goes. Um, so I needed a job. I'm hearing about the Walmart distribution center, and I apply and I'm working there, and it was okay at first, but I was putting thousands of labels on boxes, and they expected you to keep a rate up, and it was over and over, and the negative energy there, and the people, and body's kind of getting sore, starting to hallucinate because you're doing the same thing over and over again. And I'll never forget towards the end, they expect you to know more, and this older gentleman, really intense guy. I'm going to try to portray him here. It was like, you need to do this, and you're like that. And he's like really intense. And then the thing is, some people, they they don't know they're coming off that tense, like intense. And like some people around here, like you ever walk around maybe by you too. I notice it a lot around here, especially during the wintertime. People just kind of got this like confused look on their face, or it's like, or was kind of walking around like, or you see someone in the store, and or other ones like him, you kind of have this surprised look on his face, like, "Ah." And I took that as this is what's going to happen to you if you don't live your life and do what you're passionate about. Because look at me, you want to be like me, you better do what you want to do, or else you're going to up like me and hate your life. And you're going to like this. Oh, excuse me. I can tell I don't talk like that too much, but that was tension right there. So I was on the weekend shift, I believe Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. I specifically took that shift. Well, I thought it was cool to have a four day weekend, and it was really long, 12-hour days. However, and then I had to make good decisions on the weekend. I couldn't go out and drink like I used to when I lived there. So I did that. And when I was struggling getting up in the morning, getting motivated, I would listen to motivational speeches, motivational quotes. Fearless motivation is one of them. It's actually what I got while I was listening to. Um, Let me get the lyrics up here. It's called "Keep Showing Up" by a motivational speech by Fearless Motivation. Now, I'm gonna put this in the info after my Zoom here, my live stream on IMCtv, and I can read a little bit for you right now. But out of all the motivational speeches I was listening to, this one hit home. Like this one really stuck out, and I was just like, okay, because so many times I wanted to give up. I'm like, oh, here I am again, just stuck where I don't want to be, you know. And a lot of times, like in the past, I would stay there. I would stay stuck way too long, like much longer than I should have. Just thinking like, oh, I guess this is my life, you know. Like I'll never forget out of high school before I left for active duty Air Force. I was living at my dad's just dirty home, I think in the basement, drywalling for him, like a dirty job, living with him, not really liking it, not liking him or anything I was doing, and just living for the weekend and getting blackout drunk. And I'm like, I guess this is my life, you know? I guess this is because that's what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to live and work with him and I guess take over the family business, even though his dad told him not to do it. And where was I going with that? So I would just stay stuck in that hopeless situation for too long, just like when I was working at Walmart. So I hear this inspiring, motivational, this guy is saying, keep showing up. If no one invests in you, invest in yourself. If no one believes in you, believe in yourself. Even if you don't see the results right away, keep showing up until you do see the results. Even if you don't say the results, even if you don't see the results for a very, very long time, I'm gonna have to edit that part. Keep showing up. What if the results don't come in? They're not gonna come if you quit. So keep showing up. I'm tired. Keep showing up. I don't feel like it. Keep showing up. I can't see the results. Keep showing up. I don't know where to start. Just start. Take that first step. Every step you take adds up. And the sooner or later, you'll look back and see you're at the top of that staircase. Hell yeah. So the first part there, even if no one invests in you, invest in yourself. So me, like this video, it was just me here before. Shout out to Trent Lara, TXL, one of the four pillars of power speaker and the host of IMC Radio. And I'm not gonna let him speak until end of my show here, because I don't want him to show me up. But I'm glad we're on the same team. It was just me here on the camera. Yeah, fire back at your brother. And I was just thinking like, oh, no one's gonna come on. And I'm deep down thinking like, I hope no one comes on, because then I'm thinking that person, or do I look or sound good, And it's like, what matters the most is the person looking back at you at the camera, you. So start doing videos now. Do a little journaling. Like I used to be so lazy where I didn't even want to write in a journal, where I would just do videos of myself. I had to get some stuff out there. They're private. I got some on my personal YouTube channel, Tony Kazimiski. I have some that are private because some are pretty intense and I'm waiting to let those out yet. Um, I'm waiting for some of the people that come to me, like the haters, who be like, "Oh, you're always like this. You're like this." And I'm like, "Here, look at me back then." Like when someone thinks you're so successful, they see the end result. And it's like, well, look at me 10 years ago. Like, wow, that was you. You're like, don't believe me? Look at the video. Um, okay, where was I going with that? Yeah, so believe in yourself. And it's funny too, Captain Chris, when I came up with that, he's like, don't just show up, but show up. And he might have been a captain at the time. He's a major now. Officer in my unit too said the same thing. He's like, don't just show up, like do something great, because just like going to the gym, they say like the hardest part is just showing up. It's like, okay, yeah, great. I'm at the gym, like, okay, here I am. It's like, all right, now what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with this time? Um, so make the most out of it. So what does showing up mean to you? I'm wearing my Memento Mori shirt here. It's actually my favorite Stoic saying. For some reason, it's like keep showing up and Memento Mori just kind of like both stick with me. They just kind of like both. I guess I get the same energy with them. Well, you're gonna die one day, so that's why you need to keep showing up. Because if you stop now, you're gonna be on your deathbed, or you're not gonna be able to do things that you used to be able to do, or you wish you could have done, and you're gonna look back and be like, oh man, if I only like made that move or took that shot, or like why did I give up? And that was me, like too many times, like enough times, and especially like when something really, I don't know, traumatic or life changing or life altering, like 2020, happens, and it's like not getting any younger, or a moment like where your life flashes before your eyes. Like I'll never forget the near fatal accident I almost got into. I think it was summer 2016. I'm like, this is it. And it's like, well, I'm glad I'm finally doing something in my life, but I just feel like I could be doing so much more. So just picture yourself on your deathbed, or like my job, I help handicapped people. A lot of them are older. Some are around my parents' age. I'm just looking at them like, God, that's gonna be me one day. Like, picture yourself not being able to walk, like having to get around in a wheelchair, having to depend on someone to load and unload you out of a van, having to wait, not knowing if your ride's going to come or what time they're going to come, or hoping you get someone nice. That's why all my patients, I give them my personal number. I'm like, if anything happens, let me know, or I'll let you know. That way you're not sitting here waiting. I'll never forget my dad. He's beaten cancer, pretty much handicapped. He ended up waiting like an hour for someone to pick him up. And then there was like those ride share things where they'll like give another patient a ride. Well, that the driver, what up, Phoenix? Get on Zoom if you want to participate. I posted a link in Telegram. Um, the driver like went out of his way to drop off the first one, and then took my dad home. And then my dad forgot his wallet, so he couldn't get anything to eat. And I'm like, well, that's your fault, Dad. But still, just some of the horror stories, like, and the people in healthcare, like, I can understand people get sick of their job or frustrated. Like, I had a pretty rude lady the other day. However, she was going into surgery for her spine, I think. So I can understand why she was a little ornery, and maybe she had, like, I know when you have back or neck issues, like when you have a lot of tension built up there, it can make you like really angry. So that's probably was, but I was like, don't talk down to me, don't talk to me like that. I'm giving you a ride. Like I told her, like, you want me to take you back? And she didn't like that. So I was like, okay, okay. Um, so just picture yourself not being able to walk or use your legs, or not having the energy like you do now. And I look back at my 20s too, as kind of pissing around, like bouncing around different schools, universities, different jobs, like not really like feeling like I had a direction, not really like being passionate about what I was doing. And then getting blackout drunk on the weekends. And Four Pillars of Power, Trent's actually going to be hosting tomorrow. I'm going to be hosting next Saturday. Quick plug with that. And I'm going to be sharing on how I quit Adderall. Do I dare say it? Is my video gonna get taken down because the pharmaceutical companies are gonna try to stop me because I'm helping people quit Adderall? Which, dare I say this, I heard it's like similar to meth. So I don't know if the video's gonna get dinged or taken down, but that's what my Four Pillars of Power live is gonna be on next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow, tune in to TXL. So I don't know if Phoenix is jumping on Zoom here or what. I gotta see. I took the waiting room off. Okay, double check Telegram here. Anyone trying to get in? All right, we're good. All right, so what does keep showing up mean to you? So there is growing up, psychological things going on. Never thought I was good enough, having a hard time focusing in school, being slow, thinking I was dumb because I wasn't good at memorizing a bunch of stuff and taking a test. And I had a hard time concentrating because it was just the environment, different energies, students being around me, the teacher probably not really enjoying their life and not being really passionate about what they're teaching. Well, what else? So there's a lot of I went to a parochial school, a Christian school, and it's funny because there was that so Christian thing is going on. Let's say I'm not going to mention any names, and they're just lucky I didn't call them out. One of my pastors at the time was drunken, cheated and beat his wife. Like he'd go to bars and stuff, and he'd be all dressed up and drinking and take women home. Beat his wife, and he would say, "Do as I say, not as I do." Uh, Teachers having affairs, just some teachers talking down, just being mean to the student. I remember one teacher, older lady, um, kind of reminded me of the witch on Wizard of Oz. Towards the end of her career, she was getting physical with students. Like I thought it was funny because I was a kid. I don't know if I was like seventh or eighth grade, but I'll never forget her. She was like manhandling the students, and I'm like, "Do you see what's going on here? Like, you see what she's doing?" And like, just think people in healthcare or teaching or people had to like take care of kids, and they're just talking down to them or manhandling them or what. And I'm just thinking like, if if you don't take care of yourself, how do you expect to take care of other people? Healthcare workers, oh, I'll never forget. Um, Side note too, one of them, my VA doctors, one of them here actually was giving me a hard time because I wanted to stop taking my medication. I wanted natural ways. And I'm actually going to share some really deep personal stuff next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 Pillars of Power, and how I quit that. But she looked like that. She was older, and she kind of looked like a female version of I can't say Satan, but just someone you would see in hell. And the nurse helping her out, a nice lady, probably like around my age, but she was overweight, quite possibly obese. And she didn't look healthy. She just kind of sit there like looking at you like, are you all right? You know, and I'm looking at her like both of them like you two are in healthcare. Like, well, what are you doing here? You know, like how do you expect me to trust you or take your advice or listen to you, you know? And where was I going with that? Uh wow, but it's so different when you're live. I tell you what, and that's another reason why I was worked up before because I thought about this all day. And now I'm getting better at it because I'm thinking about like what I want to happen. So I'm picturing myself like getting really Phoenix, are you on? Get your ass on Zoom. Start Zoom. I'm on Zoom. Get in Telegram. Go to my Beyond Clarity Telegram and click the link. Um, I'm not yelling at you. I just know you wanted to be on here. So if you have anything to share, get on let me open it up here and send it to you. Maybe oh yeah, I think I sent you the wrong link. That was my fault. Okay, so that's where the transmutation comes in with that negative energy, that anxiety, the nervous feeling is like, oh, because I would normally stop. I would come up with an excuse, like when my first show was supposed to be 2 weeks ago. Oh, it didn't work, so I guess I don't have to do the show. Even though I ended up live streaming on Zoom, it just wasn't recorded on IMCtv because I didn't follow directions. I had the directions. I just assumed I would have been able to live stream from my phone, but nope. So desktop. Where am I going to do that? I'm living in my dad's basement and we don't have Wi-Fi. Well, my girl pulled through, gave me this. No, this isn't my place. It's her place, but she lets me come here whenever I want, and it's great. And she's into this, and I'm inspiring her to do the same because she's empowering herself, and eventually, she's actually empowering women right now. So she's also getting in the photography business. So people have like these areas. Yeah, that was my fault, Phoenix. I posted the wrong link. All right. Another 4 Pillars Power leader here. He actually led last weekend. I gotta look into there because for some reason I didn't see it on IMCtv, but I did record it, so I gotta add that to the Google Drive. Got about 15 minutes here. If anyone would like anything they'd like to share, the topic of discussion for this one is keep showing up. What does it mean to you? Or is there ever like a moment where you just wanted to give up and you're just like, oh, I kind of want to see what else is there, you know? Or you saw one of your IMC Nation brothers doing something or posting something real. So that's why I put this stuff out there, because I understand everyone goes through it and you see people come and go. We recently, well, we had one get out. I actually met him at a beast camp last year. I'm not going to say great guy because he messaged AZD he was hitting on AZD. And I'm like, oh man, like such a disappointment. And we know who we're talking about too. He's actually getting into boxing. I think he's out in LA or something. And I'm just thinking like, who's in his weight class? Or better yet, what weight class is he in? Okay. We'll see about that. So that's why I say keep showing up, because he is only going to get so far. Because without the AZD IMC Nation process, like you're only going to get so far, and it shows with the people who get out. It's sad, really. And so many times I wanted to quit or get out, and I'm just thinking like, look, you may not be as far as you want to be, but you will be so far back behind if you get out. Another time, well, I didn't even want to go to the first beast camp. I tried chickening out, and Captain Chris is like, he says something like, it's like the mama bird pushed the baby bird out of the nest to fly. You know, it's like you just kind of need a little nudge. I'm like, okay, okay, I'm coming. And then I tried backing out a couple of VIP events going out there, and I got so much value from all of those. And just thinking like every time now when I'm about to do something where I feel uncomfortable, like last Saturday, DJing at an event that I put on because I created a tribe out here called Red Blooded Collective, RBC. And I brought two powerful men together, Jacob and Flo, and we've been doing music shows out here and eventually inspiring people to do the same. Well, that feeling of nervousness and anxiousness is there before I go out and play, but I'm like, yeah, but you know how you're gonna feel afterwards. 10 times, it's like it's so worth it. So think about that thing that like you just get really nervous. You're like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like whether it's a cold shower or fighting or working out or talking to that pretty girl or doing this live streaming. Um, I tell you what, I was tired before I started this, but I'm feeling so awake now. It feels so good. So, Phoenix, you got anything?
What's about that? Yes, I just walked into a shop though. Yeah, just to add about to keep showing up. Like when I did my first show, I'll tell you, it was completely, really uncomfortable to do. Thinking about doing my next show brings me a lot of discomfort too. But as alpha men, we always embrace our discomfort and learn from the experience because what character means to chisel or chiseled. So essentially, every time you keep showing up, you're chiseling away that negative emotion that you have. And that's pretty much what I have to add to that is keep showing up.
I like that. Hell yeah. All right. Okay, I think he said end it 10 minutes before. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. Shout out to IMC Abnu for making all this happen behind the scenes. Shout out to Captain Chris for encouraging me to do this. Like, God, 3 years in IMC Nation feels like 30. I tell you what. I was they call it number one and number two. So like think of like a star, you know. Think of someone popular, you know. Or, so Chris is out there speaking, and people are watching him and listening to him, and I'm here behind the scenes, like, okay, here, go to this link, and here and copy and paste and do this, and write up a description and throw some tags in there so someone can find it and see how we can get this show, Enlightened Masculinity, some more subscribers. Oh, don't look at me, look at Chris, look at Chris. And Chris is like, okay, great, thanks. Hey, TK, when are you gonna start doing this? Okay. Because AZD's IMC Nation, and we're getting close to 300, he wants us to do what he's doing. We're messengers. And with everything going on, you know, like I always say, someone out there needs to hear your story, like your version of your story from you. So stop holding yourself back. And after what I learned a couple years ago, when everything went down, and seeing AZD, Captain Chris, Raul Cervantes putting this stuff out there, I'm like, who am I to be holding myself back? How selfish am I? And you meet these guys, like the first time I met Trent Lara, the first Beast camp I went to, I'm like, oh man, this guy's really tapped in. Okay. And it's about time he has his own show, his IMC radio. Great speaker, great communicator, and it's like the best of the best here. And here I am, and I feel like I'm falling behind because I haven't been attending advanced beast camps lately and comparing myself to some of the top IMC Nation members and just seeing them get so far. And here I am, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to give up. And that's where keep showing up comes in, because people fall along the wayside and then they get out, and it's just, oh man, it just feels really, really bad, like really irritating to me. That's really disgusting. So I'm glad I'm talking about this today. Got a few minutes yet. Anything else? If not, I'm going to cut it early here. Oh, if you would like if you're interested in IMC Nation or attending an open Dragon Slayer, private message me. The first one's free. If you want a one-on-one session with me, private message me. Well, the first conversation's free. Anything after that, I'll charge you. If you're IMC Nation, it's free. And if you send me a donation, I'll gladly accept it and send ACD half, because it's only fair. Were you gonna say something, Phoenix?
Yeah, 4 Pillars of Power tomorrow.
Yep.
Trent Lawrence will be our host, and
Trent Laura.
myself will be. Yep, and
Awesome.
myself will be tuning in.
And before you say anything, Trent, because God damn it, you're so good at it. I'm gonna be hosting next Saturday, your Sunday, Phoenix, and I'm gonna be sharing on how I quit Adderall. Trent, you got
Awesome.
something to say, or you want to close us out here on my show?
No, man, I just want to say thank you for the acknowledgments. Thank you for the show. Keep showing up. What it means to me is like, that means that you're actually invested into what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you keep showing up because you know this is what I'm going for. Like, if you keep showing up to IMC because you want to be a part of IMC, like, IMC will do you no wrong. But if you come to IMC wanting to get a girl, IMC is going to give you that girl, and nature is going to fuck your life up because you only learned enough to get the bitch, not keep the bitch, or at least get the girl's respect. So, I mean, realistically, man, it's like everything that we're doing here as far as IMCtv, IMC Nation, just AZD in general, it's like we're here to help. So, yeah, shout out to TK, shout out to Phoenix, and shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out to you for being here. Congratulate yourself, because I'll end it with this. When I was in the introduction to leadership program for Landmark Forum, almost all the time I did not want to go and assist. And when I finally went, and my coach was like, well, that's why you come, because we clear you and then you help someone. I see people in the introduction, and I look back at like when I just started and how much of a difference that made for me and helping them out. And I tell you what, from grudgingly driving that hour to Madison, on my way back, I was like on cloud 9, like 10 times feeling better. So when you help, when you think you're down and out, you're feeling bad, go help someone. That's one reason why I have this job. I'm actually getting another part-time job. I'll be sharing about that next month when I get it. Go like get a homeless man food or something. I don't give him money, and you know why? It's personal. Go work at a soup kitchen. Just go help someone. That's why I open it up here, because you think someone, like, you think you have it bad, there's always someone out there like wishing they had your life. Yeah. So
if I could say anything, it's like, bro, do not devalue what you're sharing, especially if what you're sharing is something that other people can't bring to the table. Like, what you're bringing is very unique. And I mean, fuck, dude, like, that's what makes me want to do IMC radio or speak out in general. Is once I started to do it, I noticed like people are not living by the same concepts I'm living by. Like, whenever I first heard you say keep showing up, it bothered me. And I'm only saying that because it's like, I understand the value of it, but I'm saying, like, you said keep showing up. And at first I was like, what do you mean keep showing up? You want to be the best. Like, you don't just want to show up, but it's like, to be the best, you got to keep showing up. It's not about being the best one day or 1 week or one. It's like, this is your life. Fuck being the best. fuck being the worst. It's like, I want to be the best at living the best life that I can. And that's what TK has to offer. That's what Phoenix has to offer. That's what the 4 pillars of power has to offer. It's like, we will share experiences that we've gone through because we know other people are going through it and they don't have an outlet to listen to. Like, nobody has a place to go to where they can hear this stuff from a powerful position. Like, it's not like we're wallowing in our sadness. So yeah, shout out to Tony Kazmitsky, aka TK. Keep showing up.
Yeah, us brother, and you're not the only one too who thought that. Like, don't just show up. But that's Captain Chris was the first to actually say that to me, and it was funny too because my officer in the Air Force too, he was a captain at the time, said the same thing. He's like, don't just show up, you know. But yeah, like I say, someone out there needs to hear your story from you. So keep showing up and stop holding yourself back, because it just feels good. It makes you feel better, and it inspires you. I think about the things that people did for me, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do that for others. So how that, like, going to a live beast camp or meeting AZD, Captain Chris, my brothers, and just seeing like what they do for people, it's like, I want to do that. Like, I want to do what they did for me, and I know there's something in me that I have that I can do that for others. So here we are. And with that note, I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time for 4 Pillars of Power. Keep showing up. Os.
Yeah. Hell yeah, TK.
1 second. I'm not sure if I found out the hard way last time that it might still be.
Yeah, YouTube is still going. So
okay, YouTube's still going. So
once you end the live, everything will stop.
oh, okay. So YouTube's no longer going?
No, YouTube is going, but once you end the live, like once you leave the meeting, everything else will stop.
Oh, okay. So I just X
like,
out of Zoom, everything will stop?
yeah, if your intention is to stop the meeting and stop the Zoom,